While much of the world remained preoccupied with holiday sales, sports playoffs, or political drama, China set off a financial earthquake. No grand announcements, no headlines plastered on the front pages, just a calculated, silent move that shifted a staggering $5 trillion in wealth globally. And that's not just any number. It's the lifeblood of the global economy. Most people won't notice it right away. They'll continue with their routines, completely unaware of the tectonic shift happening beneath their feet. But eventually, the effects will reach you, from the price of groceries to the value of your savings. This isn't about a minor adjustment in China's monetary policy. It's a strategic move by China to dismantle the dollar's dominance. For decades, the U.S. dollar has been the undisputed king of global finance, the currency that drives trade, settles debts, and provides a level of stability to the global economy. From oil to international loans, countries around the world hold dollar reserves, relying on the strength of the dollar as their economic safety net. But here's the reality. Empires don't last forever. Rome fell. Britain lost its empire. And now, the U.S. dollar, the cornerstone of America's financial empire, is under siege. The attacker? China. In December 2025, while global markets were closed for the holidays, China quietly made its move. No press conferences, no grand speeches, just cold, calculated steps. They abandoned their cautious monetary policy for the first time in 14 years, unveiling two revolutionary tools: the securities fund and insurance swap facilities. Now, these might sound like jargon, but trust me, these are not just technical terms. These tools are designed to flood liquidity into key sectors, stabilize assets, and lock in wealth, all before the world wakes up. China's strategy isn't just about adjusting interest rates or printing more money. They are surgically redirecting capital flows, reshaping global trade settlements, and strengthening their financial system, all while simultaneously starving dollar-dependent economies. And that's just part of the story. What's even more alarming is that China isn't stopping there. In addition to their monetary policy shift, they've cracked down on capital outflows, tightening annual limits on wealth leaving the country. No more billionaires smuggling their fortunes offshore. No more capital flight draining their reserves. That $5 trillion? It's staying within China, fueling their industries and economic development, not ours. But let's step back for a moment. This move by China is part of a much larger strategy, a war on dollar supremacy. The weapon? The digital yuan. This is where things get really interesting. Since the launch of the digital yuan, ECNY, in 2023, its adoption has exploded. By the end of 2025, its transaction volume hit $2.3 trillion, an 800% increase in just 2 years. And the digital yuan isn't just a digital currency. It's a game changer. It allows for instant transactions across borders, bypassing U.S. banks and the SWIFT system, which has long been the backbone of the global financial network. What does this mean? For decades, the U.S. dollar has had a stranglehold on global trade. If you wanted to buy oil, you needed dollars. If you wanted to settle international debts, you needed dollars. But now, countries like Russia, Iran, and even South Africa are turning to the digital yuan. And they're doing so because it's faster, cheaper, and immune to the political leverage of the U.S. This shift is more than just a minor inconvenience for the U.S. It's a revolution. The global South, including BRICS nations like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, as well as parts of Southeast Asia and Africa, are increasingly turning to China's alternative system. They are tired of being at the mercy of the U.S. Federal Reserve's monetary policies. They're tired of sanctions and trade restrictions being used as tools of political control. And China is offering them an alternative, one that bypasses the dollar completely. But wait, it gets even more dramatic. In early 2026, China made a strategic move on silver exports. This was no coincidence. China controls a huge portion of the world's silver refining capacity, and when they tightened the supply, the price of silver shot up. Why does this matter? Silver isn't just a shiny metal. It's used in industrial production, electronics, and even solar panels. By manipulating the silver supply, China is sending a signal. We're not playing by your rules anymore. This is about more than just the price of silver. It exposes cracks in a global financial system. For years, banks have been trading silver derivatives, essentially promises of metal they don't actually have. It's like a Jenga tower built on promises. And China just yanked out the bottom block. The market is unstable, and as silver prices spike, the ripple effects extend across commodities, gold, bonds, and even equities. This is where the real danger lies. China isn't just targeting silver or the digital yuan. They are systematically dismantling the pillars of dollar supremacy. The $5 trillion wealth shift is the culmination of years of careful planning. But many are still in denial about it, arguing that the U.S. economy is too strong to fail. The U.S. GDP is $30 trillion compared to China's $19 trillion. The UN reserves only account for 2% of the global total. And the U.S. financial system, with its deep financial markets and independent central bank, has held up well in recent decades. But here's the problem. Trust in the dollar is eroding. The Federal Reserve's relentless money printing, combined with skyrocketing national debt and political instability, has shaken confidence in the dollar. Meanwhile, China is playing the long game, building alliances with nations in the global south, digitizing their currency, and leveraging commodities. This $5 trillion wealth shift isn't just a financial move, it's a war. And the battlefield? The global economy. China isn't just attacking the dollar's dominance in trade. They've begun attacking commodities, especially rare earth metals, critical for electronics, solar panels, and even military equipment. By restricting exports, China is forcing manufacturers to either relocate to China or pay high premiums. This isn't just an economic move, it's a geopolitical weapon. And the U.S.? They are distracted. While China systematically dismantles the dollar's supremacy, the United States is bogged down in political infighting, focusing on short-term solutions instead of addressing the looming threats to their financial empire. Let's be clear, the $5 trillion wealth shift isn't just about China's rise. It's about America's decline. The warning signs are everywhere, but the U.S. seems oblivious to the scale of the threat. So what happens next? If China succeeds in dethroning the dollar, the consequences will be felt everywhere. Inflation will skyrocket. As demand for the dollar collapses, its value will plummet, driving up the cost of imports. Interest rates will rise as the U.S. struggles to borrow cheaply, leading to higher mortgage rates, credit card rates, and business loans. The economy will slow. But perhaps the most alarming consequence? Geopolitical power will shift. Without the dollar's dominance, America's ability to impose sanctions or influence global trade will diminish. China's growing influence will reshape the global order, and countries will turn to Beijing instead of Washington. Finally, social and economic divisions will deepen. As the economic fallout spreads, inflation will eat away at savings, inequality will rise, and trust in institutions will collapse. This isn't just about the financial system. It's a systemic crisis. The $5 trillion wealth shift is a wake-up call. The implications are massive, but here's the good news. It doesn't have to be inevitable. Empires don't collapse because they are destined to fail. They collapse because they ignore warning signs, cling to outdated systems, and refuse to adapt. America is at a crossroads. Will it learn from history or fall into the same traps as every empire before it? The choice is ours, but the time to act is now. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the shifting tides of global economics. If you found this analysis eye-opening and want to stay ahead of the curve, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. You won't want to miss out on our future videos as we continue to explore the forces reshaping the global financial landscape. At Economics Narratives, we're all about understanding the patterns that drive economic change, from rising powers to looming financial crises. If you've got thoughts, questions, or predictions about what's to come, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on the future of our financial systems. Until next time, stay informed, stay prepared, and remember, the world of economics is always evolving. and we're here to help you make sense of it all.